Let's look at a quick example, shall we? Suppose you have 18 grams of water H2O. Calculate the number of atoms. Here you see that we have 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen, correct? So for hydrogen we will have 2 multiplied by Avogadro's number, which will be 2 multiplied by 6.02 into 10 to the power 23 atoms of hydrogen. For oxygen, it will simply be 1 multiplied by the Avogadro's number because we have only got 1 atom of oxygen. Is it clear so far? That is great. Let's practice another example. You have 98 grams of sulfuric acid H2SO4. Let's look at the atoms separately. Here we have 2 atoms of hydrogen, 1 atom of sulfur and 4 atoms of oxygen. Okay? So for hydrogen H, it has twice the Avogadro's number of hydrogen atoms. For sulfur, it is just 1 Avogadro's number of sulfur atoms. And for oxygen, it is 4 times Avogadro's number of oxygen atom. Here with me so far? That is great. Let's sneak a glance at another example of an ionic compound. Guys, some substances ionize in solvents to yield cations or anions. The number of such ions can easily be calculated from the known amount of the substance dissolved. For example, if we dissolve 9.8 grams of sulfuric acid in sufficient quantities of water to get it completely ionized, it has 0.1 mole of sulfuric acid. Here we have 2 ions. We have got hydrogen ions and we have got the sulfate ion. It will yield 0.2 moles of hydrogen ions and 0.1 mole of sulfate ion. Why? It is because we have 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of sulfate in sulfuric acid. If we talk about the total positive charge, it will be 0.2 into Avogadro's number of hydrogen ion. We know that, right? But the negative charge will also be 0.2, and how is that so? Well, that is simply because each sulfate ion has 2 negative charges. So we will have the same number of positive and negative charges because for hydrogen we have 2 atoms. Even though it has a single positive charge, on the other hand, sulfate has 1 atom, but it has 2 negative charges. So it will be 0.2 again. Am I getting my point across? Now the total mass of hydrogen will be 0.2 into 1.008 gram because of the 2 atoms, while that of sulfate ion it is going to be 0.1 into 96, which is the formula weight of sulfate ion. Now I understand that this might sound a little perplexing at first, but let us go through a quick recap and it will get much simpler for you. Well, you are doing 3 things over here. First, you are looking at the number of ions. Then you are looking at the positive and negative charges and their numbers, and then you are looking at the total mass. For the ions, we know that we have 2 hydrogen ions. So we will get 0.2 and we have 1 sulfate ion. So we will get 0.1. Then the positive charges will be 2 because we have 2 hydrogen atoms. So it will be 0.2 and the total negative charges will be 0.2 again, because even though we only have 1 ion of sulfate, it has a double negative charge.